Hey, Tribe Sally here. Hope you're having an amazing and fascinating day. I know I am in real life, but not in this video. I want to set the stage for you a little bit. You may have noticed in the last couple of travel videos, I've been having some electrical issues. And I had spent an awful lot of time troubleshooting, trying to figure stuff out, trying to get it back on the road, and watch what happens in this video. And we think it's all straightened out, but I'm going to give you a spoiler alert because you're going to need to keep watching this series. It's not all straightened out. So once we finally do determine the actual fix, I'm going to do a whole separate video and run through everything start to finish so it stands alone. But what I want you guys to get out of this video is what it's like to still continue. Like, we're on vacation. Barb and I have been on vacation this time, and we don't want to stop our vacation. We did detour our vacation to come all the way back down to Loveland, Colorado, hours away from where we had intended to be, in order to be closer to being able to get help. But pay attention. I mean, you can hear in my voice, I'm not terribly upset about stuff, but it's stressful. And I want you to get that feeling, because full-time nomad life is not all rainbows and unicorns. Just saying. All right, stay tuned. Enjoy this video. Leave me a comment down below. How would you handle this kind of stuff? Would you have made the, 3+ hour drive back down to Loveland, or would you have done something else? What I don't say clearly in the video is that we did a bunch of research. I did a bunch of research before we decided to do that indicated that that was really going to be the closest possible source of help for a qualified Victron technician. So that's why we ended up there. Anyway, check this out. Thanks for being here. Enjoy. Leave me a comment. Well, we actually ended up parking further to the right last night. And then we had literally just started to move over here into the shade this morning when I got a call from the Victron place, and he can see me today. So we're gonna head over there.
Wake up with the sun in our eyes. Sally forth, no need for goodbyes. Journey calls, let's roll the dice. Every mile a new surprise.
And hopefully I can get straightened out. So today is Monday, July the 7th. It is 83 degrees outside at 10:52 in the morning. High today here is supposed to be 92. We're heading over to Longmont, which I keep thinking of as Longmire. Don't know why. And we had just come back out from shopping at Sam's Club when I got the call. And then Barb also got a call back from a propane guy on her issue. So we're gonna get over here and take a look, figure out what's going on, see if he's got to order parts or whatever. That was a big hole. But I will be very relieved to get this taken care of. And although my refrigerator was up to 50 degrees yesterday afternoon, it spent a lot of time in the sun. It was back down to like 38 this morning. So I think I'm okay again. So 18 miles, 21 minutes. And one of the blessings of traveling with Barb right now is that Kit can go hang out at Barb's house, right? You can hang out at Barb's house while we're figuring out what's going on with our house. How about that? How about that, baby boy? That'll work. Yeah, I was thinking I wasn't going to get a call back from anybody until late this afternoon, best case. And this guy, it's an actual shop instead of being mobile, which is better in my opinion. And he is able to get me in today. He said today's the only day he could get me in. So yay for that. And he's also going to take a look at Barb's rig. think we're maybe going to spend another night in town, so to speak, because I want to get my oil changed, and we've got to work on some rerouting because we want to see Rocky Mountain National Park since we came all the way back down to this part of the world again. And I gotta say, this morning I wasn't feeling so confident about our decision to do the driving yesterday to get into this area. Barb's thought, and I think it was right, and I certainly thought it was right when she said it. I was losing a little faith in that thought this morning, not in Barb, but in that thought, was that if we did the driving yesterday, we'd at least be in the area that we need to be in. If somebody could possibly see us today, we could say we can be there in half an hour instead of we can be there in 2.5 hours or 3 hours. And as it turned out, that was pretty prophetic. When I made all the phone calls this morning, I was beginning to think that you know, I wasn't going to hear anything from anybody today at all. But I think indeed being able to say, yep, I'm within half an hour, made a lot of difference. So this part of Loveland looks really nice. The part we were in looks a little bit run down. No big deal. And whether we come back to Loveland tonight or someplace else, I do want to hit up a Sam's Club again before we leave the land of Sam's Club. For one thing, because I bought something that I need to take back. I'm trying to address an issue of needing a laptop sleeve. And they had a lap desk at Sam's Club, which I bought for $25. And it has a pocket in it, which would have held the laptop, but it doesn't fit in the cabinet that I need it to, and I don't want it just floating around loose in the house. I want it in the cabinet. That's what makes me feel happy and neat and tidy. I'm feeling very relieved already. All right, I'm going to leave you until we get closer to the shop, or until after we're done at the shop. Depends on how interesting I think it is. Well, as I often do, I turned the camera on just a little bit too late for you to see, but we just passed a Buc-ee's. So if we end up going back up to Loveland, we may stop in at Buc-ee's. I don't know if Barbara's ever been to one or not, and I think they're definitely worth visiting at least once, because it's Buc-ee's. I have no idea why we're going so slowly. Actually, we were stopped in this lane. Oh, there's a double up ahead of us and we can't change lanes. It has its emergency flashers on. It's ahead of this Amazon truck. I think it might be another Amazon truck actually. Now it's getting its speed back up. No idea what this was about. Can't get out of this lane right now anyway, but I should be able to momentarily. Yeah, it's a double. No idea what his issue was, but he was holding up the parade. He's got his flashers on again now, huh? I wonder if he's going to use the emergency pull-off. Maybe he's just super heavy going uphill. I don't know, that's weird. Well, it keeps saying emergency pull-off 1,250 feet, but I haven't seen an emergency pull-off yet. Unless this is it right here, coming up. Boy, that doesn't give him much room to maneuver, does it? Okay, well, we got just about 5 more miles to our exit. 6 miles to our destination. Oh, this emergency pull-off is in 1,000 feet. I want to see if it looks like the other one did. Yeah, not much room there at all. I mean, you've basically got to be dead stop to be able to use that. Well, that's a pretty nice vista, huh? How much this is going to end up costing me. Guess it doesn't really matter, does it? Guys, so you know how I am, right? I like to stay on top of stuff. I like to do the best that I can. You know I love my Victron equipment. You can see my bay door is still up there. I can put it down though, because it doesn't need to be up, because, oh, here's my new friend Roland.
Hello.
And where are we, Roland?
We are in Longmont, Colorado.
And what's the name of your company again?
Solar Power My RV.
Okay, and tell me, how hard was it to fix my system that I thought was bricked and needed a new ATS and all kinds of other stuff?
Very easy.
Yeah, why was it easy? Go ahead, tell the truth, it's okay.
You have to turn it on.
Yeah. Okay, and why am I telling you this, guys? I'm going to show you real quick why I'm telling you this. And I'm going to ask you to put your finger in here and point to it for us.
All right.
So I ended up having to reboot my servo. But look at this. See that switch right there? Regardless of what I'm doing inside on the servo panel, that switch must be on. I am sharing this with you, as I always do, because if I've done something stupid, chances are you will too.
It happens.
Mistakes happen.
Yep.
But when you get a guy like Roland here who can really help you out with this stuff, you got to be grateful. So if you're in Longmont or anywhere within an hour or two vicinity, I would say if you got solar issues, give him a call.
All right.
The guy's amazing. Thank you, Roland.
Thank you, Sally.
Okay, well, we are leaving. Forget what it's called again. I'm going to look when we go out the front because I want you to know. Because Roland is just amazing. SolarPowerMyRV.com. Okay, so I'm all fixed. I don't know exactly what was going on. Well, I do know exactly what was going on. What was going on was that I made a mistake, and I'm going to own up to it, because I think that's important to do. So here's what happened. Sorry, I got to look at the map. 66. What happened was I had this overload fault, and I tried to do a hard reset on the servo, and I was troubleshooting back to the inverter, trying to.
Turn right onto Colorado 66 West.
And as part of my whole troubleshooting process, I ended up manually turning the switch on the inverter off, and I was back and forth doing so many different things, I neglected to turn it finally back on at the end of the day. So, all my mistake, but I'm glad that's over with. So yay for that. And now we're going to a different Sam's Club than the one that we were parked in last night. So I can return one of the things that I bought. And then we can figure out where it is we want to go and so forth today. But not only did I get my mistake easily corrected, Roland was so nice, he updated my servo itself, my servo panel, turned on DC display so I can see what my DC loads are, and updated my inverter. So got all of that stuff done, super nice, was able to get me in today, really appreciated it. Super nice guy. So if you're within a couple of hours, I would say check him out. And his shop's pretty busy. He said he just happened to have time to get me in today, but you know, call for an appointment, because I doubt that you'd necessarily luck out like I did. Just saying. But very grateful. And he took a look at Barb's potential issue with the propane, and his thick feeling is that It's really not a propane issue. There's really nothing wrong, except it was probably operator error trying to fill it. So we're going to just go find another propane supply place, get her filled, and see if that's really all it is, which I kind of suspect is true as well. So we were both pretty concerned about what could have been fairly catastrophic issues for each of us, and chances are really good, we won't know until we go to a propane place, but chances are really good that it was a non-issue for both of us. So there you go. Sometimes RV life works out okay. And I am owning my mistake in public, because if you are ever having issues, you might remember this and think, oh yeah, let's go check that manual switch before you drive. I don't know, I think we drove about 3.5 hours to 3 or 3.5 hours from Scotts Bluff to get down to, or actually from Chimney Rock to get down to Loveland, and then another half an hour to get over to Longmont. So fair amount of fuel, a little bit of embarrassment. I'm okay with that. I'll be embarrassed so you guys don't have to be. How's that? And in my case, at least so far, all's well that ends well. So I'm pretty daggone happy about that. And then we're going to figure out where to go next. So we're officially in Longmont now, heading for the Sam's Club. And we still got about 2.5 miles to go. We just passed Costco. So I'm kind of thinking the rest of the day is going to turn into some errands and laundry and stuff like that. And we might end up camped in another parking lot tonight. And then tomorrow we can get on our way again. Look at those Rocky Mountains up there. Just look at it. So I think for right now we're just going to get a whole lot of, you know, typical kind of stuff that you see everywhere. So I'll check back in with you in a little bit. Okay, well, we've been sitting here at this Sam's Club for quite a while. And now we're going to go back to the one where we were last night, because at least there's shade there. Because Henry thinks it's 103 degrees right now. And I say we get in the shade, that'll be better. And I'm going to go see if I can do my oil change at Take 5 before we go back there. That's what I'm going to see. And I bought a brand new car charger today. Put it on and the adhesive came off immediately, so that's useless. Fell right off my dashboard. So I guess I'll be returning that. And losing my mind here because it's hot. I bought 2 new surge suppressors from Sam's Club because one of the issues that I have had with the multi-outlet plug that I had in the wall is that when I pretty well fill it up with all the plugs, it gets pretty heavy and it puts pressure on the outlet. And so I think this gives me 6 or 8 AC outlets and 2 USBs, and they came in a 2-pack. So I put one on each side of the cab, well, just behind the cab, because there's 2 outlets there. And so I've moved my jackery over to the passenger side, out of the way. And I put the other one on this side. And part of what that means is that on the rare occasions when I need to keep the laptop plugged in when I'm driving, because that's down on the floor, it will be able to more easily not fall out of the socket while I'm driving. The other charger was so heavy that it would always fall out. The new charger for the new laptop is even heavier, so even more of a problem. Those thunderheads building up ahead of us. That's pretty impressive, huh? Basically, there's thunderstorms almost every day late afternoon in the time we've been in Colorado. So that's cool. Might get some more tonight. We'll see. Henry now thinks it's 94 degrees now that we've been driving for a little while. I call it hot. That's what temperature it is. My refrigerator seems to be okay when I can keep it from being in the hot sun above 95 degrees, 94, 95 degrees all day long. So like today, it started at 38 degrees this morning, and when I looked just before we got back on the road, and had been sitting in the hot sun for several hours at that point with the sun beating on it, we were up to about 45. I'm okay with that. I did replace some of my food today, and I've got a lot more to go that I'm gonna need to replace, I think. But like basically I didn't get any meat or anything because I didn't want to put meat inside the refrigerator and then have to throw it away. So we'll see what happens. Okay, well, we're gonna see if we can get into this Take 5. It's a little tight. But I think we can do it. It's okay, Kit. It's okay. It's okay, don't start. Yeah, I think just top it off for now, unless you look at it and tell me it looks bad. You don't do like Freon recharging for air conditioners, do you?
For what? Oh, we don't do recharges.
Okay, I didn't think
Yeah,
so.
all our services, we do a oil change.
Stop.
We'll fill up your washer fluid. We can fill up your coolant and your power steering if it's available, and as well. We don't anymore, but we used to be able to fill up your transmission.
Okay.
But,
yeah, whatever you can check and fill would be great, and then a full oil change. And when I just did this 3 months ago,
Okay.
and they changed my air filter, but you'll check it again,
Yeah,
right?
we'll check your air filter. We'll check the cab filter.
I don't have a cabin filter.
Okay.
Yeah. It took me 3 hours worth of internet searching before I went to first Take 5 a couple months ago to find out that I don't have a cabin filter.
Yeah.
But I don't, so that's
Okay.
cool.
Saves us time though.
Yeah. So they're going to be like half an hour.
Yeah, around half.
All right, I'm going to pull up a little bit, try to get out of the sun,
Yep.
and I'll just shut
And
it
if
down.
You just want to open the hatch just as well, just crack it.
Okay.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you. Stop. Do you want to go get a drink? Why don't you get a drink?
With the sun in our eyes.
All right, so we're getting ready to pull in, but I got to maneuver a little bit.